Yeah, I'm just currently checking. It looks like, so Billowy, he stopped competing in 2016 and he did his military service.
Oh. Man, why does it feel like Billowy never really left?
I know, right? Like, whenever I think of Billowy, like, obviously, unfortunately, it's been a while since I've been able to catch an Oliva League, but he was very prominent in Oliva League. He's even an Oliva League champion. Like, he's been active for a very long time, but yeah, we haven't seen him for a while. It's cool to see him back.
Interesting. Again, I'm just wondering what he's gonna show here in PvZ. We've seen a lot of Stargate play coming out, but you know, maybe he's a little bit more old school. But enough about that. We are gonna be actually figuring out what's in store for us here on Pills Gold LE. We're here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. The Blues player coming down from South Korea. He is going to be representing the land down under. A freak of freaks, we have Armani.
And
most fashionable player.
Exactly. Spawning in the top right of Pillars of Gold LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the returning player, just like Ryong before him. He has finished up his military service. He is back. He is Billowy.
So, I don't know why this is, but whenever I think of Billowy for some reason, I usually imagine him with someone like Hurricane.
Hmm?
For a while, I feel like the two Protoss players who were kind of around the 32 fodder for a while, and then had breakouts at similar-ish times. I feel like were really Billowy and Hurricane.
Yeah, they were very solid mid-tier Protoss players in the South Korean scene. I know Artosis, I believe it was Artosis, who every single season he's like, yo, this season Billowy's gonna break out. Like, Billowy, Artosis was a bit of a Billowy fan, I believe. But
who can blame him?
Yeah, like, you know, Hurricane and some of these other Protoss players, like, he was always kind of there as a bit of a gatekeeper, like they're in that round of 32, sometimes reaching that round of 16 echelon as well. And yeah, we'll see how he does here. I'm just, you know, it's cool to see him returning after military and still here competing.
I feel like that is really the, well, at least that's a trend on the players, on the people who we've casted here today so far. Next up, who do we got? MMA. Maybe. Yeah, he didn't sign up.
Yeah. I was like racking my brain trying to think of other Korean Protosses. I guess Creator is someone who you would put alongside them as well. Who else?
Yeah. At least in Legacy of the Void, I feel like Creator has had a similar, been at around the similar level of someone like Hurricane.
Yeah, definitely. But he is here, and we will see how he does against someone like Armani. Obviously, at least Billowy has his PvP on lockdown, taking out Nice.
Yeah, I just have to wonder how well Armani's ZvP is looking like lately. I feel like in recent online events, we've mostly seen a CVC, but that could just be recency bias by me.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the fact that we've seen a lot more participation by Rogue and Dark in these events, and of course Solar as well, so we have seen a little bit more ZvZ in these weeklies. We'll see how he's able to hold up. He does dive in with his Overlord, and he does scout the opening tech from Billowy.
And that is the Twilight Council with a robo facility. He knows exactly what's in store. Glaive's now being researched by Billowy. And Armani's got to be sitting pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if he reacts to this in time.
I mean, he should react to this. Like, he saw the Robo, he saw the Twilight Council, he peeked at the gases as well. He should be aware that Glaive and Epps are on his way. So, I mean, I imagine he should be able to muster up a defense, you know, get a decent amount of Lings, throw down a Roach Horn eventually.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm a little bit worried that I don't quite see a Roach Horn out, but I also glanced at the timing. He's just, you know, delaying it a bit to get more drones out, which you can totally afford to do as a Zerg player. Just need to make sure that you're on top of your, make sure you're on top of those shades with your Lings.
Exactly. Like typically as a Zerg player, when you're defending against, you know, these Glaive Adepts, you typically want around 40 workers. Going further than that is a little bit greedy. So we'll see how he can defend here, as he did drone up a little bit extra, but he is getting a wave of lings, which will hopefully come out in time.
Yeah, the point of these links right now, they are not meant to deny the Adepts or kill the Adepts. They're just meant to, you know, fight against them long enough to buy them time to get the roaches out.
Yeah, exactly. Like the goal of the queens are to like push away the warp prism. Meanwhile, the lings are there to chase the shade and make sure that they don't commit to a shade.
Yeah, transfuse is really a added benefit. It's not the main purpose of the queens here. If you can get a transfuse down, that's great, but not what you want to be focusing your attention on. 7 roaches coming out right now for Armani, so should be able to defend a little bit easier, but you never know. One good shade is all the Protoss player really needs. We've seen it happen in the past, actually. You know, Zerg players not underestimating the Protoss player, thinking they're not going to shade with that. They're not going to commit to that shade, and then all of a sudden, entire mineral line going down.
Definitely. And speaking of not committing, like that's exactly what Billowy is doing right now. Like he's kind of dancing around the edges of the creep, and behind this, like he actually started and then canceled. Okay, there it is, the Immortal.
Yeah, really want something that can be able to deal with the roaches pretty well. Forge coming on the way, so Billowy really playing this out with the I want to transition into a mid-game push kind of style. No Dark Shrine coming out, no overly greedy plays coming out from him. Ooh, commits a little bit with these Adepts. Oh, I think it was a mistake because now he's forced to recall.
Yeah, it did end up losing 1 Adept, and what's scary is that now the recall has been wasted. He's forced to pull back home, and now like the goal of those Adepts were at least to keep Armani busy while he was working on that transition. Now Armani, he's free to just, you know, macro up, work on his army.
And his transition is not even halfway done right now for Billowy. So he is sending his warp prism around once again. Again, he just needs to keep Armani busy, making sure that he doesn't get to a very comfortable economy nor army.
Yeah, but man, Armani, he's free to drone up. Like he's breathing easy right now. He's like, okay, all the Adepts, they went home. I can drone up. I can work on my upgrades and then work on that follow-up attack. Meanwhile, Billy's going across the map.
Oh, this might be a little premature. +1 still a ways off, but I guess he just wants to take the map control. He doesn't commit. Oh, that's good. He doesn't commit.
Yeah, he shouldn't commit to this. Oh my god, no!
Oh dear, all of these Adepts, they're starting to get piled on light. Look at that! Complete surround of all the Adepts! And I mean, you could argue that, you know, maybe Billowy, he just wanted to make use of those Adepts so he could free up some supply for some Stalkers and some Immortals, but not like that.
Not like that. Not like this, Billowy. He just lost all of his Adepts. Now his army supply is cut in half. As a result, he's forced to stay at home and defend. Meanwhile, oh my god, I was not expecting this, but I love it. Mate, we got a Spire.
Alright. Really wants to turn the tables here when it comes to the harass. Armani saying, yo, you haven't been able to put a dent in my drones. Let me show you how it's done.
Exactly. To be fair, like, this isn't too bad for Billowy. Like, I like this tech transition from Armani, but Billowy, he's going to +1 Blink Stalkers. And Blink Stalkers, like, if they're in good enough positions, like, they can defend against mutants.
Yeah, they're a little more micro-intensive than, say, something like Archons or even Phoenixes are, but again, they do pack a punch, and the added bonus with Stalkers, this was something like Phoenixes, is they still have a lot of utility after the Mutalisks have been dealt with. You can still use them to fight against these roaches really well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what's so important is that Armani just went across the map with those 2 Haluks, and he did spot that Spire, so he's aware of that transition. And you were bringing it up, like you were talking about Archons. We have the Temple Archives who even double Stargate.
Is Billowy like listening to my suggestions here and just saying, oh, that's a good point? They aren't actually suggestions here, Billowy. I'm just, spitballing here.
I mean, he knows, like, this is what you want to go for. He even goes with the Haluk to confirm that the Spire was finished and not cancelled as well. So he's aware, but is he ready for the ground army?
Yeah, there's too good of a timing coming out from Armani. +1 Rangers, +1 ground remnants, and he has twice the army supply. A lot of the biles were kind of wasted earlier on. So not too many of them going to be able to use on force fields. Those sentries are so compromised. Those Zerglings coming in from the back for a flank.
Oh my god, every single sentry is going to be going down. Everything is depowered as well. Overcharge useless.
But you know what, Light? A lot of the army supply for Armani has been cut.
Oof. Yeah, that it has, but the piles were landing on everything, raining down on the entire army of Billowy.
But Armani is forced away, not really getting too much economic damage. If he wants to continue pushing, he has to at least regroup. It buys Billowy some time to get some breathing room. The Archons and the High Templar were taken out earlier on, and yeah, that was kind of painful.
Yeah, and the problem is that Billowy took so many losses, like he has to focus on his ground defense, but 14 mutas are on the way, and the Lings make it in!
The Zealot just out of position there, dancing with the Lings!
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Funada, that Zealot, god damn it, the Lings, they're gonna be focusing down the robo!
And that was already the main anti-roach force, or the main anti-roach unit being taken out here for Billowy. Try to take out the cannons here with the Lings so that the Mutalisks have less to deal with when they come back for another harass, but Armani not quite committing. Just gathering his army in the middle of the map, working on his transition, getting some Corruptors to deal with the Phoenixes.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's incredibly smart because those Lings snuck into the bases of Billowy, he was actually able to spot both Stargates. So he's like, oh, okay, you're going into Phoenixes. Now I'm aware, now I can get ready for them and get those Corruptors out.
Yeah, just rounding up his army as best he really can, making sure that a Billowy does not have a way to really hard counter this. Already a Phoenix does get taken now. Now it does. That's a Phoenix force being halved here for Billowy.
Exactly. Immediately.
Ouch.
3 Phoenixes were sniped out of the sky. Now the mutas are looking to reign supreme in the air. Meanwhile, we have a fleet beacon going down. I imagine this is going to be for Aeon Pulse Crystals, but is it too late? Oh.
The Warp Prism gets taken out.
Oh my god.
This is not shaping up too well here for our Rip Protoss player. Armani re-establishing map control here after taking out those Phoenixes.
Hey.
Now he's just looking to push with +2 melee, or not even with +2 melee, just with 1/1/1.
Man, he's looking to push out with a maxed out army. He's 200 supply, just going straight into the Protoss, so he just surrounds everything.
Gonna be able to completely evaporate the Protoss army. And from there, you know, how does Billowy hold? He does not. GG's called. Armani gonna be taking game number 1.
GG, well played. Billowy, you know, he had some nice moves, but at the end of the day, we're talking about Armani here.
Oh yeah, Armani, he is not just one of those top Zerg players. He is not just a player who can take it to some of these Protoss players. He's going to be one who can take it in style.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely in style, as we're going to be getting into game number 2. We did just get updates, as it looks like Zest did take down Bjorn, and honestly, that has been the bane of Bjorn's existence here in recent weeks, that TVP matchup.
Oh yeah, we just have Stats and Zest, just both of them, you know,
taking turns.
Strikes against him, yeah. They're tagging out, it's like Stats getting a little tired. Tag out Zest.
Oh god.
And Zest, he's just cracking his knuckles. He's like, all right.
I'm
gonna pin you to the mat.
Yeah, feels bad, man. I just imagine it, like Bjorn's there in the ring, like barely like standing up, and you got like Zest and Stats like
black guy.
Zest and Stats like
lip.
They're like double teaming him, like just tackling him to the ground and stuff. It's like stop throwing the towel.
But you know what? At a certain point, you gotta stop feeling bad for Bjorn, because then he's just like, no, I can still fight. He's got like 4 broken ribs. His leg is completely out of commission. It's admirable, but also kind of worrisome. That is, of course, an analogy to his wrist. But anyway, we are now here on to Def Ora LE. Speaking of tag teaming, here we have in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Zug player, the most fashionable player in all of StarCraft 2. And Light, I got a question for you. Are you free?
Down in Africa.
representing the Africa Freaks, we have Armani.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. He has returned from the Korean military. He is here teamless. It is Billowy.
And honestly, now that I think about it, Billowy has got to be one of the most unique IDs here for these Korean players. Like, I honestly don't know where it's from. Maybe it's, yeah. If anybody has any info on that, love to see it, because, you know, it's not one of those random words you get from the dictionary. It's not one of those stylized versions of their legal names. It's Billowy.
Oh yeah, definitely. As we are like, we will see how he fares here. Again, like, I feel like Ryung had a really good showing so far, like, returning after the military. We'll see if Billowy can like follow suit like some of these players like Byun, Ryung, and even like DRG.
Or if Armani is just going to be looking to punch these players into retirement. I imagine he does it, he like, you know, cuffs his wrist, says,
Oh boy, we'll see. We shall see, as we are slowly getting into the swing of things. And we saw Billowy go for a Twilight Council opening in game number 1. We'll see if he follows suit and that's kind of like his bread and butter, or if he's willing to switch things up and go for a Stargate.
Actually, a Twilight Council. I was not expecting that, actually. I was going to go into this whole spiel of like, yeah, no, if there's ever a map to go Stargate on, you know, consider, even with how common it is, Death Aura is probably one of the best. But yeah, Billowy continuing with a Twilight Council. We'll see if he goes for the same style of Glaive to Depths, or if he, you know, maybe decides, I'm going to go for a Dark Shrine follow-up, or I'm going to be even more committed and get 6 gates. World is his oyster right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. As, oh my god, we have a lot of links on the way. Oh my god, mate, he's pulling a solar.
This is not pulling a solar light. This is pulling an entire solar flare. That's a lot of. Did he miss rally? That's intentional, actually.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's again, he's link flooding, mate. He's making nothing but links. He stopped drone production at 27. He is looking to drone drill past that stalker, and so far, Billowy has no idea.
He really does not. This is not just a standard one drone pull that Solar does to get a little bit of a flank and distract your opponent. This is really committed coming out from Armani, and already taking out the gatekeeping stalker over there. These are the only 2 producing gateways right now for Billowy, forced to pull the voice, but they do not compare to these drones. So many lost probes, and
this is it.
I cannot believe what I'm looking at right now.
Exactly.
Most of the links have been taken out. The drones are still here to fight, like.
The drones are still here. They're going back home. They have done their job. Everything's going to be depowered in the natural. And again, if you're a Protoss player, like, you have to scout this out in the center of the map. You have to realize that this is on the way, and then you have to make sure you get that wall up behind your worker. Otherwise, the drone drill is going to happen, and you're just like, this is it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Protoss player at this point, you're just on life support.
Exactly, the Adepts are going down. There's only 2 gateways for production. There's a War Prism across the map.
GG immediately called. Armani did not even want to bother with another macro game, saying, get out of here, old man. Wow, already we have our semifinals. It's gonna be another ZvP. Or no, wait, I'm looking at the wrong center bracket. Never mind. Well, no, yeah, we will have another ZvP. We just don't know what the P player is gonna be here. In the top side, Armani's gonna be facing either Trap or Creator. Meanwhile, Zest still waiting for the winner of Special versus Bunny. Ooh, have a lot of Terran players showing up today.
Oh yeah, definitely. Again, Special and Bunny will confirm at least one Terran player for the semi-finals going up against Zest of all people down there. Everyone, I forgot to mention this. Everyone, !B in the chat if you want to have a look at this bracket alongside us, and you can currently see what matches are available, and we can, you know, decide together what we want to get into. We will most likely just dive into the very first semi-finals that becomes available to us, as they're both currently, you know, waiting for one of the quarterfinal matches to finish up.